hope you're okay. Welcome to this week's Training Tip Tuesday. It's me, Andy Chadwick. I'm here with Santa Bear, and we are going to be bringing you another great exercise. I'm going to be talking through the movements and how to perform it. So this week we're going to be looking at the lunge, and it is a single leg variation of the squat. So we're looking at overloading one leg over the other, and it's going to be great for working out any imbalances. Now, if you've liked the content so far, make sure you subscribe to the channel, that you're keeping up to date with all the Technique Tuesdays that we're doing and other content in other series. And make sure that you go ahead and like the videos, subscribe to the channel, share that content, and comment any questions and any exercises you want us to do, and we'll get that content done for you and we'll post it out there. Okay, so we're going to get over to the gym, and I'm just going to quickly change and we'll get to it. So I'll see you there. We're going to get down to the movement classification, and because we're working with single leg exercises, there are so many different movement classifications or movement patterns that are happening at the same time that we have to discuss each one, and we've got to kind of address concentric and eccentric at the same time. So the first area we're going to look at is hip extension. And hip extension is typically done by the hamstrings and the glutes, primarily the glutes, and that is enabling us to take the foot behind the body. And you'll typically see this as we do a forward lunge, but a great variation is going to be the reverse lunge that will help activate the glutes and the hamstrings a little bit more. The second one we've got is hip flexion. It's where the rectus femoris comes in as we step forward into that lunge, because it is raising the knee up and we're getting some contraction down the front of the thigh and through the hip. As you can see here, as we're going through the movement, the knee is raising up and the hip is closing and it's flexing. So then we're looking at knee flexion, and this is going to be where we're going into our kind of eccentric portion on that trailing leg, and it is where the hamstrings are going to be working to assist to stabilize the back foot, as well as kind of contracting on the way back when we're pushing as well. So a lot of it is kind of what's working on the back side and what's working on the front side of the body, certainly with the front leg and with the back leg. So now we're looking at knee extension, and knee extension is going to take place when we're going into that lunge position at the very top position in our kind of finished position movement, and we're really going to be contracting a lot of muscles through the front of the thigh here and into the quads. So we've got plantar flexion, which is happening on the trailing foot of the lunge, and this is typically where the toe will be pointed down and the heel will be in a raised position, and we're going to be using a lot of the calf or the gastroc and the soleus, depending on how you pronounce it. So you'll see here that the heel is above the toe, and then opposing this is going to be the dorsiflexion, and it's typically where the toe will be raised up higher than the heel. So we'll see here now that the calf is working, we've got the gastroc, the soleus, and we've also got the tibialis anterior that are all working to perform this dorsiflexion of the toes and the foot. Moving on to technique and rep ranges. So the big thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to slow this first clip down, and we're going to be able to see that I'm hitting a 90-degree bend at both legs. Pause it there so quickly you can see it. Really lowering down as far as I can. Sometimes people will touch the floor with their knee, and that's not an issue necessarily. Just obviously be wary that you're not banging into the floor too hard that it causes any pain. A lot of people sometimes complain of discomfort with the lunge, and sometimes it may be just a case of mobility. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad exercise. I think it's a really good exercise, and I just think people should spend a lot of time working on their flexibility to be able to perform the exercise. So you'll see here that I'm actually doing single leg kind of focus first, as opposed to alternating the legs. So I'm performing 10 reps on each leg here, and it doesn't have to be 10 reps on each leg. It could be 15 to 20 reps on each leg. It could be a whole series of lunges, depending on what your target is for that area of the body for that kind of workout. Okay. The next I want to look at is the front view. Okay, so we're looking at lowering down, the knee is tracking over the toe, and you can see here that the back knee is also in line with the hip, and it's in line with the foot as well. Okay, so nice and controlled, still hitting that 90-degree bend. I'm lunging forward and pushing on back, and I'm hitting that kind of knee tracking over the toe on both legs, and I'm driving back up to the top. There's a few different variations that you can do with this exercise. You can go body weight, you can go dumbbell, you could go barbell. Obviously it depends on how much you can overload the exercise as you're going through it. The more weight that you want to put on, the more you're likely going to look at a barbell. I'm working with 70 pounds here in total, and that is 70 pounds going through one leg. Okay, it's a great exercise to be doing for any instabilities that you may have, or any imbalances that you may have. Okay, so if you've got one leg that's stronger than the other, the lunge is certainly a great exercise to do to perform, that you're going to work those imbalances out. So going on to rep ranges again, kind of 15 to 20 on each leg is a very high endurance exercise, and it's going to get your heart rate up. But there's nothing to say that you can't go to 12 to 8 rep range if you're wanting to go a little bit heavier. And I've even gone heavier before, and I've done maybe 5 to 8 reps on each leg, and it's really going to be a way that you can overload the muscle and really kind of strengthen up those legs and work on those imbalances. But you can obviously work on what rep range you need to. Just make sure the form staying is good, and if you need to, seek any professional help if you are struggling. So there you have it, folks. That's this week's Training Tip Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've taken something away from this video, and I hope you actually learned something in terms of how to perform the lunge. So if you did get anything from it, if you did like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with any Training Tip Tuesdays or other content in other series that we've got going on. Make sure you comment any questions or any comments that you've got down below, and do go ahead and share the content and get more people seeing it so they can learn as well as you. Alright, thank you very much for checking out the video, and I'll see you all next week for another Training Tip Tuesday. Peace out.